Aquarium fish. Aquarium fish is divided into two categories: the egg layers and the live bearers. Egg layers, they lay egg, whereas the live bearers, they give birth to young ones. In live bearers, the fertilization is internal. Example for live bearers include guppy, platy, mollies and swordtail. Egg layers, there are different types of egg layers. Egg layers with no parental care and egg layers with parental care. Egg depositors are there, and example for egg depositors are rasboras. Egg barriers are there. Example for that is Aplochelius panchax. And egg anchorers are there. Example is angelfish. Nest builders are there, beta and gaurami. And egg carriers are there. They carry egg in their mouth, and example is tilapia and other cichlid fishes. So starting with goldfish, Carassius auratus. It's an egg layer and it exhibits no parental care. Eggs are adhesive. Goldfish, about 126 breeds of fancy goldfish are found, of which Shubunkin, comet, fringe tail, telescope moor, oranda, lionhead, whale tail, all these are important ones. And sexual dimorphism is exhibited by goldfish, where the tubercles on the head, operculum and on pectorals are found within males. In females, they show bulging bellies, and the genital openings are rounded and protruded in females, whereas it is long and oval in male. That's a distinguishing sexual dimorphic features between male, that distinguish between male and female. Tubercles on head, operculum and on pectorals, which is visible on male, and the genital openings are long and oval in male. Whereas for females, the belly is bulging and the genital opening is rounded and protruded. Broodstock development: 8 to 15-month-old fish gives birth to young one, lays egg, and at that time the fish is somewhat 40 to 100 grams. Feeding is thrice daily, tubifex during morning and evening, and formulated feed in the afternoon. During breeding season, it requires live feeding at 10% body weight per day. In larval rearing, the water temperature is 27 to 28 degrees Celsius. One female is to 2 male ratio, that is what is kept during breeding season. During breeding season, a breeding tank is taken, and into the breeding tank is introduced 1 female and 2 male. That ratio is maintained. Male and female move in pair, and snout of the male will be near the vent of the female. That's a pattern, that's a behavioral pattern of that goldfish shows during courtship. And female releases eggs fertilized by the milt released by the male. Fertilization is external. Eggs are adhesive, and these adhesive eggs get attached to some objects which are present in the tanks. Egg collectors are used for collecting the adhesive eggs, and fertilized eggs are transparent, and unfertilized eggs are dead eggs, they are opaque. And using the egg collectors, it is separated. The fertilized egg and unfertilized egg or dead eggs, they are separated, and they are transferred to new rearing tanks, and within this nursery tanks, hatching occurs within 3 days. During once it is hatched out and the fry comes out, infusoria, boiled egg yolk, microworms, daphnia and tubex, these are the live feeds that are supplied for growth of goldfish larva. This is oranda, red oranda. The head orange colored. The head has an orange colored hood, and that is why it gets its name, red oranda. It is one of several varieties of what is commonly known as goldfish. Carassius auratus, generally from parts of Asia, Japan and China. Goldfish now enjoy worldwide distribution due to controlled breeding programs. The red oranda is a metallic scaled fish resembling the whale tail varieties. The red oranda's distinction is in its color and the hood that covers its head. In the case of the red oranda, the entire body and hood are bright red or orangish red. All goldfish are members of the carp group and generally quite hardy species, and they can tolerate wide fluctuations in environment. The red oranda will do well in a tank of 30 gallons of water or more with a fine gravel bottom and hardy cold water plants. Goldfish, they are diggers and will scatter the fine sand onto leaves, injuring thin and less hardy plants. Roots and well-rounded river rocks are appreciated since goldfish damages the live plants. There appears to be a definite courtship ritual when goldfish breed. Breeding often results in up to 1,000 eggs, with fry hatching in 5 to 6 days. They should be fed small pieces of live or prepared foods designed for egg-laying fish. Goldfish are omnivorous and will eat all types of dried and live food. Egg layers with no parental care and non-adhesive eggs are danios and brachydanios. Egg layers with parental care, egg depositors, rasboras, egg barriers are Aplochelius panchax. Egg anchorers are angelfish. Nest builders are beta and gourami, and egg carriers, that is tilapia. Once it lays its egg, it carries egg in its mouth. The next one is angelfish, Pterophyllum scalare. Egg anchorers, angelfish. It's a cichlid which is native of Amazon River Basin. Grows up to 6 inches. Laterally compressed body, thread-like filaments from the tail fin, dorsal, ventral and pectoral fins are present. Females are with larger vent. Introduce a mature pair into an aquarium breeding tank, and the ideal water quality is somewhere pH 6.8 and alkalinity between 50 to 100, and calcium carbonate alkalinity should be about 50 to 100 calcium carbonate mg per liter. Live feed, brine shrimp, adult, mosquito larvae, tender earthworms. All these are given during breeding time. And for breeding purpose, fishes require live feed. Only once they get the live feed, the whole nutrition is supplied and they can breed properly. Provide aquatic plants flat surfaces for attachment of eggs. Parents attach the eggs in rows and are fanned. Incubation period is 4 days. Once the eggs are laid, parents are removed because they start to feed on these eggs. Hatchling attached to surface by a sticky thread on the head, and the yolk is absorbed within 3 to 4 days, and the fry starts to, once the yolk content is over, the fry starts to drop to bottom. It's a fatty acid that is present in the yolk and that makes it to float on the surface. Once this yolk is completely absorbed, it drops down to bottom, feeds on paramecium and artemia. Now this is another angelfish which is black. The black angelfish is tank bred within US and is mostly black in color with areas of varying shades of black. The fins are thin and typically well extend the length of the body. It prefers a well planted tank of at least 30 gallons with soft, slightly acidic water. Rocks and driftwood can be added to the aquarium but leave plenty of space for swimming. It is best when trying to breed the black angel to house a number of angels in the same aquarium, and once they pair among themselves, you can easily remove them to a breeding tank. After a pair has developed, a flat surface needs to be provided where the eggs can be laid. A piece of slate, a large plant leaf or even a flower pot should be positioned at an angle of about 30 degrees in an area of moderate water flow. The female will lay the eggs and the male will follow behind to fertilize. After approximately 3 days, the eggs will hatch and the fry will emerge. Feed the fry newly hatched brine shrimp until large enough to accept crushed flake food. The black angel needs to be fed a variety of foods including vegetables as well as meaty foods. feed a quality flake food as well as live and frozen foods such as brine shrimp and bloodworms. Freshwater angelfish are measured as total length, which means your fish will be measured from tip of its nose to the end of its tail. That's a total length, or you call it as tail length. The next one is Siamese fighting fish, Beta splendens. You know that they fight among themselves, and that is why they are known as Siamese fighting fish. Males are kept separate, whereas females are kept together. These are nest builders. They build their own nest. They exhibit parental care, and they are native to Thailand, about 6 centimeter in size. They are anabantoid fish, labyrinth organ. There's a labyrinthine organ. You people have learned about accessory respiratory organ. Labyrinthine is an accessory respiratory organ that is present in head of these fishes, so it can survive out of water for some time. Males are very aggressive. Sexual maturity takes place at 3 months, and females are larger, longer fins, and males are larger. They have longer fins and brighter colored. Breeding tank has partition. Both males and females are kept simultaneously in a tank, and once the males, but they are partitioned. They are partitioned because if they are kept together, males are aggressive and they may harm the female. Once they are kept in a breeding tank, partitioned with some glass plates. Once a male starts building nest, that partition is removed, and they are allowed to mate. Nuptial embrace takes place. Eggs are released, and it is fertilized by male. About 15 eggs released in one embrace. This continues for many hours, and final brood has somewhere around 200 to 300 eggs. The male fish collects the eggs, spits them into the bubble nest that they have created using their saliva. Saliva, once it comes in contact with air, that becomes like a bubble, and all these bubbles are arranged together to form a bubble nest. The male collects these eggs and it spits into the bubble nest. Once a female has laid egg and male starts collecting egg, the male thinks that female is going to eat away his eggs. So there's always that aggressive tendency of male to appear. So before that aggressive tendency appears, the females are removed and male stands to guard the egg, and males are removed after 3 days. Egg hatch somewhere around 36 to 48 hours, and fries become free swimming after 5 or 6 days. During this time, they are fed with infusoria or egg yolk milk. You can see this. It's a twin tail where it has it looks like 2 tails. One is overlapping the other. The twin tail has a split tail, almost giving the suggestion of having 2 tails. A similar fish, the crown tail, has a teardrop shape to its tail. The twin tail beta is type of Siamese fighting fish. These fish have been bred over the years to enhance the fins and remarkable variety of colors of the males, as well as making them increasingly competitive. Only one male should be kept in a tank, however smaller short-fin females may be housed together with caution. A male and a female should only be housed together temporarily for breeding purposes. Females can be as colorful as the males also. They rarely have the long finnage that is seen within the males in Siamese. And the live bearers are those that give birth to young ones, and this includes Molly, the Poecilia species, and the guppy, the Poecilia reticulata. Platy, the Cyphophorus maculatus, and the swordtail Cyphophorus helleri. You can see it's known as swordtail because of this sword-like tail that it possesses. Lower part of the anal fin is modified into thick rod-like structure which is called gonopodium. The female stores the sperm for a long period, uses it to fertilize ovum. Female has a tendency to eat its own young ones, and the gravid female shifted into breeding traps with perforations. After about 4 weeks of gestation, the young ones are capable of swimming, searching 4 days of gestation. 4 days of gestation. The young ones are capable of swimming, searching for food and taking refuge. Guppy lays about 200 young ones. Platy gives birth to 10 to 100 young ones. Swordtail 20 to 100. Black Molly gives birth to 30 to 70 young. Koi carp, Cyprinius carpio. This is a brilliantly colored one. It belongs to the carp family and it is bigger in size. Domestic koi are praised for their hardiness and variety of colors and patterns. Males are easily identified by their Black Molly, Poecilia latipina. This is Black Molly, Poecilia latipina. Black Molly is a short fin hybrid variation of Poecilia latipina, the sailfin molly. The Black Molly is all black in coloration with short fins, and it looks very beautiful when this Black Molly swims through your aquarium. They may have patches of a slight gold or silver coloration when it is juvenile, but will outgrow this with age. Mollies have the ability to adapt to a variety of salt levels in the aquarium. With a gradual acclimation, these fishes may be maintained in either a fresh or saltwater aquarium. The Black Molly prefers a tank of at least 30 gallons with plenty of strong plants such as Java fern, Sagittaria, Vallisneria and Anubi. They require good filtration system because of their hearty appetites and resulting waste products. The Black Molly is well suited for the community tank because of its peaceful nature. You can breed it with other fishes and is compatible with other peaceful large fish that can withstand similar water conditions. The pointed anal fin and much larger dorsal fin on the male and the rounded anal fin and pregnancy spot on the female differentiate the two. Black Molly is a live bearer that requires a spawning box in a 25-gallon or larger breeding tank. The aquarium should be planted as densely as possible to or have a thick algae mat. Having a group of floating plants in the corner of the aquarium will promote rearing outside of the breeding tank. Every 60 to 70 days, the female gives birth to 10 to 60 young that are already approximately 1/2 inch long. The Black Molly is omnivorous and that prefer both meaty foods as well as algae. Provide these fish with an algae-based flake food as well as freeze-dried bloodworms, tubifex and brine shrimp, which are live feeds. Swordtail, Cyphophorus helleri. The neon swordtail is aptly named for its exciting electric coloration. It is a beautiful color variety of the Cyphophorus helleri swordtail that boasts brilliant neon-colored bands across the length of its body. Like a living prism, the neon swordtail exudes a rainbow of rich iridescence that accentuates the movements of this active fish. The swordtail is perhaps the quintessential community aquarium fish. It prefers to be in a community aquarium. The time-tested popularity of the swordtail can be attributed to its ease of care, peaceful temperament, and wonderfully diverse fin and color varieties. The most common swordtail varieties include red wag, red velvet, marigold, black Nubian and pineapple swordtail. The male swordtail is specially prized for its namesake feature, the showy extension on the lower part of its tail resembling a sword. The neon swordtail requires an aquarium of at least 20 gallons that is well planted with plenty of room for swimming. Because of its peaceful nature, the neon swordtail is well suited for community aquarium. The male neon swordtail can demonstrate territorial aggression towards other male swordtails, so care should be taken when housing more than one male. The neon swordtail is a live-bearing fish related to freshwater aquarium favorites including guppies, mollies and platies. A female neon swordtail can give birth to as many as 80 fry at one time. A spawning box is recommended, or if one is not available, provide dense floating cover to protect the swordtail fry from potential predation by the adults. Usually that should be separated and the parents should be on top and the fry should swim down. Swordtail fry should be separated once the sex of the fry is determined. The neon swordtail can begin breeding as young as 3 months of age and can quickly overpopulate an aquarium. Pineapple platy, Cyphophorus maculatus, is what is known as platy. The pineapple platy is a sunny color variety of the popular Cyphophorus maculatus platy. The exciting fiery red and orange coloration actuates the playful and social nature of the pineapple platy. Fun, festive and friendly are just a few adjectives that describe this peaceful, easy care platy. Platies are omnivores that will eat commercially prepared flake foods and algae as well as freeze-dried bloodworms, tubifex and brine. The pineapple platy requires an aquarium of at least 10 gallons that is densely planted with hardy plants like java fern and java moss. It is very peaceful fish and makes an excellent addition to freshwater community aquarium. It is a live bearer capable of reproducing at 3 to 4 months of age. Male is smaller and more brightly colored than the female and can be distinguished by his gonopodium. The fry will most often reach maturity in a community